Welcome everyone. My name is Brianna and today I'm going to take you through a Rocket Fundamental yoga flow. Next to me I have a pair of blocks, a strap, a blanket, and some pillows. Just some props that will help me through this flow. So go ahead, take a moment and grab whatever of those items you would like to accompany you on your journey today. We'll begin with a gentle warm-up in a comfortable seated position. So once you are seated on your mat, sit up straight, take a deep breath, and let it all out. We'll do that a couple more times, finding our center and our natural rhythm of breath. Wonderful. We'll go ahead and start with the fingertips. From here we're going to spider web our fingers open as far as we can and then close them. We'll do that about 5 times. Opening wide and closing. And one more time here. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and make fists, get our wrists involved here. Circling, nice and slow. We will be on our hands a bit today, so it's good to warm up those wrists to be able to support our bodies. Go ahead and switch rotations. Nice and slow, full circles. Wonderful. We'll go ahead and interlace the fingers. Again, warming up those wrists. Do whatever feels right to you. Go in circles, go back and forth. Just moving to the organic rhythm of your body. I like to switch my grip, putting the other thumb on top just to feel the difference between the two, letting the other hand lead the way. Awesome. From here, we'll go ahead and pull the fingertips back. This is pretty intense, so do it nice and slowly and with ease. I have a slight micro bend to my elbow and my arm is coming straight out of my shoulder. You can release that slowly and then we're going to go finger by finger in the same motion. Hold it for 3. Release and switch to the next finger. I'm pulling straight back over my forearm, keeping a neutral wrist. And when you get to the thumb, it's going to be a little awkward angle here, but you just want to pull it back. Again, keeping that wrist as neutral as possible. Micro bend to the elbow. Great, then we'll go ahead and pull the fingers forward, pulling the opposite direction, stretching it out. Beautiful. Go ahead, shake that hand out. Letting it know we're going to be using it shortly. We'll go ahead and switch hands now. Same thing here. We're going to pull back on the fingers directly over the forearm, micro bend to the elbow, arm coming directly out of shoulder. Breathing as always. Any difficulties that might arise, send your breath directly to that area and then release the discomfort again through your breath. We'll release that and go finger by finger again, holding for about 3 counts each one. Going at your own pace. Moving to the thumb. And then finally we're going to pull those fingers forward here, getting that reverse stretch coming forward. Go ahead, shake that wrist out. Let it know you're grateful for all its support. Beautiful job. From here, we're going to go ahead to the opposite end of our body here. I'm going to warm up the toes, okay? So we're going to stretch these toes. If you want, you can cross over on the other leg to help support. So right now I'm stretching out my right toes and I have my right leg rested on my left leg. My weight is in my hands and my seat. So stretch out those toes, spread them out as far as you can, and then squeeze them together, tight, tight, tight. I'm gonna do that a couple more times. Spreading the toes out really wide, then scrunching them together. Spreading and scrunching. Awesome. One more time here, spreading and scrunching. Good. Now we're going to do an interesting exercise, but because all of the nerve endings of our entire body is located at the bottom of our foot, it really helps to wake up the body and let it know we're going to be doing some activities here. So this is the toe wiggling exercise. We're going to focus on our big toe, and we're going to send it back towards our body. While we do that, all the other toes come forward. So it's like our toes are doing a split, okay? Then we're gonna switch it. Send the big toe away from the body and all the other toes come back towards. This is really challenging. It takes a lot of focus and practice. So be easy on yourself. Try your very best. And just remember the positive effects that it's having on your body. Do it a couple more times here, wiggling those toes, waking up all of our nervous system. Good. We'll do ankle moving here, okay? So we're going to start in a circle. Same concept as your wrist. Nice and slow, full circles. When you're ready, switch the other direction. Awesome. Then we're going to do pointing and flexing. Rhythm of your own drum here. warming up those feet and ankles, getting it ready for all the weight bearing. One more round here, pointing and flexing. And go ahead, shake it out. And then we'll switch to the other side. Same thing here, spreading those toes, stretching them out as wide as we can, and then scrunching them together. Warming up the toes and the feet and the ankles. They carry our body every day. It's important we shed some light, spread some love to them. Stretching as wide as we can, scrunching the toes up. A good foot stretch here. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and move into that toe wiggling exercise. Again, be patient, be easy on yourself here. This is a challenging exercise. Pulling the big toe back towards your body, the rest of the toes move away from it. Switching, big toe goes away from the body, the rest of the toes come towards it. Do this a couple of times. Remembering all the benefits this exercise has to warm up the nervous system, in which all of the nerve endings of our body located at the bottom of our foot. Awesome job. One more time here. Great. You're going to go into those ankle circles here, big round circles. Warming up the ankle. Go ahead, switch directions. Beautiful. Coming into the final ankle stretch here, we're going to be pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. Nice and slow, full movements here. One more round of point and flex. Go ahead, shake that foot out. Nice job. From here, we're going to come to all fours. If you have fragile knees, go ahead and place a blanket underneath of your knees for this. It really helps with that extra cushion. Want to make sure your knees are directly under your hips. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Okay, and from here we're just going to go into some cat-cows, following your breath. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, pulling the chest through the arms, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, arching. We'll do this a couple of times to the rhythm of your own body. Here we're going to start circling the hips. go ahead, switch sides. We're really just warming up the spine right now. So whatever feels good to you, go ahead and do that. It means going from side to side. Just sticking with the traditional cat-cow. Whatever feels right. Awesome. We're going to do one final warm-up so we can come back to seated position. Here we're going to be doing a little neck warm-up, really gentle. We're also going to incorporate the shoulders while we do it. So if you want to begin just with some slow circles, bringing chin to chest, rocking from side to side, pulling the shoulders down the back, hold it on the right side, breathing deeply, and drop the chin, bring it to the left side, again hold it here, take a deep breath. Feels good. We'll come back to center. Here we're going to warm up with the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to bring the shoulders forward in a circular rotation. And up, forward, and around. And we bring them back up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, coming up into the neck. Go ahead, reverse that motion. Shoulders coming up to ears, dropping back, shoulder blades come together, coming forward. Beautiful. Go ahead, squeeze the shoulder blades together so your chest is coming forward. We're going to bring those squeezed shoulder blades up as far as we can, so driving the shoulders to the ears. The chin comes up, gaze follows, so you're almost pinching your neck together as if there was a string back there that you wanted to hold in the back of your neck. You can go ahead, drop the shoulders down the back, chin comes to chest, really elongating that neck. Inhale, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Exhale, elongating. Do this 2 more times. Shoulders come up to ears. Chin lifts up, squeeze. Exhale, release. Shoulders come down, chin comes to chest, elongate. 1 more time. Squeeze it and release it. Lovely job. From here, we're going to meet at the top of our mat. Begin with our sun sail A. So we'll have feet hip width apart, toes spread out, gripping the ground, slight bend to the knees, hips coming forward, core engaged, arms gently at your side, and we're just going to find the rhythm of our breath here. Breathing in nice and slow, deep, deep breath to the belly. Exhale, go ahead and make a sound out of your open mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Breathing in, releasing fully through the mouth. 1 more here. From From here, we're going to close the mouth, focusing on the same breath, but making a quieter sound with the mouth closed. Throat is still open. Next inhale, arms are coming up above head, gaze follows the fingers. Exhale, we're gonna forward fold. This is a good place for your blocks to come in. You can have them at any setting, directly under your hands for this forward fold. Micro bend to the knees. Inhale, we're gonna push off of those blocks or off the floor, straightening the back, separating the mat with your feet. Exhale, we're gonna drop to that forward fold. We're gonna come back to standing. Arms above head, gaze follows. Exhale, arms to side. Tadasana. We're gonna do that again here. Arms come above head, gaze follows. Hinging at the hips, forward fold. If you feel up to it, you can change the setting to your blocks. Getting a little deeper stretch here. Micro bending the knees. Really stretching out those hamstrings. Inhale, we're gonna half lift, straightening the back. Toes digging into the mat. Exhale, forward fold. A little bit deeper this time, letting the head hang loose. Inhale, arms come up above head. Drishti is at your thumbs. Exhale, arms come to side. Tadasana. I'm going to amp it up a little bit here, going through the sun cell A. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Again, feel free to adjust your setting on your blocks. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold again. This time we're going to step back to tabletop. We're going to push all the way back to child's pose. And hold this here for 3 breaths. You can have your feet touching. Knees can be wide or narrow, depending on the stretch you're looking for. If this feels challenging for you, you can go ahead and place a block on your feet underneath your seat, giving a little bit more support to your knees. Next inhale, we're coming to tabletop. Uncurling the toes, stepping forward to our half lift. Straight spine here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips, micro bending those knees. You can reach for the ground, that's great. If not, no worries. Do what feels right for you. Inhale, straighten that spine for your half lift. Exhale, step back to tabletop. If you'd like to stay here, you can go ahead and do so. Otherwise, go ahead, drop to child's pose. We'll hold this for 3 breaths here. Next, inhale, coming up to all fours if you're not there, uncurling the toes, curling the toes, walking your feet forward into our half lift. Exhale, forward fold, deep stretch, releasing the upper body. Inhale, arms above head. Exhale, arms to the side, Tadasana. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into chair pose. So arms come above head, knees bend as far as you'd like them to go, keeping the core engaged here. Exhale, dropping to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Straight spine, micro bend those knees. Exhale, forward fold. Here we're going to come back to tabletop. And we're going to send the right leg forward. We're at a 90-90 here with the legs. Go ahead, lift your arms if you feel confident. Otherwise, place them on your hips for extra support. We'll hold this here for a breath just to feel the balance. Place hands back on the mat. Right leg comes back. In our tabletop, we're going to switch over to the left side here. Left foot comes up to the hands, creating a 90-degree angle with the left leg, a 90-degree angle with the right leg, feeling a nice stretch in that right hip. Go ahead, lift the arms above head if you feel confident to. Always place them on your hands, on your hips. Hands on hips for extra support. Hands come back to mat, back to tabletop. We're going to curl the toes under here, lift the hips, straight spine, pushing back into down dog. Have a micro bend to the elbows, a micro bend to the knees, engaging the core. You want a neutral neck. Fingers and toes spread wide, staying strong. That's why we did those finger and toe warm-ups, right? Really getting those muscles ready to support the body. Keep breathing. As we get ready to approach the top of our mat, now look forward, bend the knees on the exhale, inhale, stepping up to our half lift, straight spine here, exhale, forward fold, inhale, we're going to chair pose, bend those knees, arms come above head, gaze follows. Exhale, arms to the side, Tadasana. Beautiful. From here, we're going to lift above head, arms up, chair pose, bending the knees. Interlace those fingers, rotate palms to the sky, and drop into a half chair. Lower, breathing in, lower. Breathing in, lower. Good. Here we're going to go ahead into a squat pose. Place a block underneath or two, whatever feels right. I'm going to draw the feet out a bit here. Heels come in towards center. So toes and knees are pointing outward. Okay? You can have your stance wide here too, really opening up those hips. Breathing. Elbows can come to knees to help push out the legs and assist with that open stretch to the hips. Hands in heart center. And we'll hold this here. Beautiful. From here, we're going to push back into our tabletop. We're going to bring the knees back a bit. Send the hips forward to align with our spine. So we're in a knees down push-up position, and we're gonna lower this way. Okay, lowering here, and come back up. Then we're gonna go into a knees, chest, chin. So as we lower, we're bringing our chest down, hips curl up, and the chin follows. Knees, chest, chin. We'll straighten out the legs, let the hips align. Bring the hands back here. Lift the hands up. As we do that, we're going to lift with the core and the back into this non-assisted Sphinx pose. Okay, so we're really engaging these leg muscles, our core muscles, and our back muscles here. Go ahead, release that. And we'll place the hands back on the mat. Curl the toes under, and we're going to send our hips back into tabletop here. Again, drive the hips up, moving into down dog. We'll hold this for 3 breaths. Beautiful. Next, inhale, our right leg comes through. We have a wide stance here, so both of our feet are on opposing railroad tracks, okay? We're going to, if it feels right, drop the back knee, okay, into this low lunge. The back foot comes to the mat as well. Hands come overhead. We're really sinking in to our hip here, getting a nice stretch in our left hip. Curl the toes under. If it's possible, try to lift yourself up here into Warrior One. Okay, so the back foot comes down to the mat on it's about a 45-degree angle. Right knee over right ankle. We're focusing on squaring the hips to the top of our mat. Have hips on, hands on hips, or hands above head. From here, we're going to open up to Warrior Two. So that back leg comes in line with the front leg here. Still, the back foot is at a 45-degree angle, or if it feels right, you can go ahead and put it at a 90-degree angle, aligning it with the back of your mat. Arms are in a T, hips are open to the side. From here, we're gonna bring in the blocks again. We're gonna hit a pyramid pose as we transition to triangle. So pyramid pose, both of our feet are on opposite railroad tracks again. I'm using my blocks to help support me in this transition. Have both of my legs straight. And then I'm going to bring one of my blocks to the inside of my right foot. I'm going to open up my back foot, twist to that 45-degree angle again. My left hand comes up, my gaze can follow if it feels good for my neck. If not, feel free to look straight, whatever feels right to your body. From here, we'll come back to pyramid pose, kind of recentering our body. Feet are still on individual lines here. We're going to transfer our weight into our left block now for revolved triangle. Same thing, twisting at the core. Right arm comes up, gaze follows if it feels right. Always remembering to breathe. Beautiful. Right arm comes back to the block. We adjust our feet here a little bit deeper and in the same line this time. We're going to come into a side angle. You can have your block on either side of your foot, right arm supporting the weight, left arm coming up above the head. Okay, pinky down. Both hands come back to block as we adjust our feet back on those 2 railroad tracks. We're going to drop the back knee here for our revolved side angle. Putting the weight in the left side here, twisting at the core, looking up to the right hand if possible. If you feel good here, you can curl the toes under, straighten that back leg, getting a little deeper into those hips. Beautiful. Both hands come back to the blocks. Left knee drops. And we're going to come back into our tabletop. Shift our weight. Curl our toes, shift our weight back and up into down dog. Again, micro bending those elbows and those knees. Breathing here. We're going to send the left leg forward this time. Keeping a nice wide stance here so you have both of your feet on different lines. We're going to go ahead and lift up into our warrior one. So the right foot this time goes on that 45-degree angle. Arms come overhead, or they can stay at your hip, whatever feels right to you. Here we're going to draw that right foot in line with the left, open up to warrior two, hips open to the side, arms in a T. Okay, go ahead, grab those blocks again. Help ourselves adjust back to pyramid pose. Straight legs. As we get ready to enter triangle, I'm going to put our weight into our left, opening up to the right heel drops, and our gaze follows the fingertips. Keeping a nice strong core. Beautiful. Right arm comes back to the mat as we adjust again. Here, getting ready for revolved triangle, shifting the weight into the right arm, opening up to the left side, twisting at the core, the neck and the eyes follow if it feels right to you. Left arm back down to the blocks or to the mat. From here, we're getting ready to do our side angle. Align the feet into one line. Again, your right foot is going to be at that 45 to 90 degree angle. And from here, we're going to open up to the right side, putting the weight in the left block. Elongating the stance just to deepen it, deepen the stretch in the hips. Right arm comes up, gaze follows. You can go ahead, place your hand back on the block as we get ready for revolved side angle. We're going to separate those feet again onto different tracks. Drop the back knee, uncurl the toes. Weight goes into the right, twisting at the core. Gaze follows to the fingertips as they extend up. If you're up for the challenge, go ahead, curl the back toes, straighten the back leg, adding another level to this. Y'all are doing great. Always remembering to breathe and come back to our tabletop. From here, we're going to send those knees back again into our knees down push-up position. And that's when we're going to lower. So getting ready for a chaturanga, elbows stay in, core engages, spine straight. From here, we're going to send the hands back a bit. Again, using more of our core and our back muscles. We're engaging the legs here, lifting with those muscles, not really using the arms as much as anything but support. We're lifting, pulling the chest through. Gaze can be straight ahead. And we're going to drop that. Shift our weight back into tabletop. Curl the toes. Send the hips up into down dog. Beautiful. We're going to do some pincha work here. Now, if you don't have it in your practice, that's perfectly fine. We're still going to be moving in that direction. So as we're in down dog, we're going to practice sending our weight into our shoulders, okay? So we are going to micro bend those elbows a little bit at a time and then straighten them. Micro bend the elbows, straighten. 2 more times. Micro bend, straighten, micro bend, straighten. From here, we're going to lower. You can have your knees down if it feels right to you. We're going to lower into a forearm plank. So knees down, we still want to have our glutes engaged, our core engaged, and pulling up from the crown of our head. We're on our forearms here, hands spread wide, pointer fingers parallel to each other. And if it feels challenging to you to get the right distance, you want to make sure that your elbows are directly under your shoulders. A good way to measure is using a strap here, okay? And it helps kind of maintain that shape. So you can have your strap on your arms here. That way, if you feel like you're falling out of that structure, the strap kind of helps you stay in, okay? And from here, we're just gonna do like little pulses, okay? So we're gonna send it back, send it forward to plank. Send it back, almost like a puppy pose. Forward to plank. Feeling that weight shift in the shoulders. Gaining the upper body strength for pincha. Beautiful job. This is challenging. Always remembering to breathe through the discomfort. And a great rule of thumb, it's okay to feel discomfort. It's not okay to feel pain. So if you're in pain, please take it back a notch. You know, just holding the plank pose or up on your knees like this to alleviate some of that weight. If you're feeling like this is easy and you're ready for the next challenge, you can go ahead, curl your toes under, and we're going to send it up to dolphin here. So having your forearms planted, fingers wide, pointers parallel, elbows shoulder width apart. We're going to straighten those back legs, walk the feet up into dolphin pose, and we'll just breathe here. Beautiful. Go ahead, lower, drop the knees. We'll drop into child's pose here, giving our shoulders a break. Breathing it out. Nice job. From here, we'll set the strap aside, back to tabletop. This time we're going to lift all the way up into plank if it feels right for you. Otherwise, you can continue with those modifications that were shown earlier. Plank is engaging the core, spine straight, neutral neck, and we're going to lower, sending the weight a bit over the hands, elbows staying in, dropping to the ground. Hands come back a bit, toes point, pushing off with the legs, engaging the core, and the back will lift all the way to up dog. If it feels good for you, you can look straight ahead, otherwise go ahead, lift the gaze to the sky. We'll curl the toes under, send the weight back to down dog. Breathe here for 3. One more. Looking up at the fingertips on the inhale. Exhale, bending the knees. Next inhale, we're stepping to the top of our mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come up overhead. From here, we're going to do some spine rolls. Okay, so we're going to lower. Lower to a seated ball position here, and we're just going to roll back. Rolling up the spine and the shoulders here. Rolling back, forward. It's okay if you don't come all the way back up to seated position. You can just keep rolling it out a bit here. When you're ready, we'll come to the back of the mat. Meeting here in our Tadasana, feet hip width apart, micro bend in the knees. We're going to get ready for our forward fold. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. This time we're going to grab our big toe with our 2 top fingers. Really get deep into that stretch. As always, if this is not accessible for you, go ahead and use those blocks as support. Inhale and exhale, going a bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale, elongating your spine. Beautiful. Here we're going to take a nice big step forward. Doesn't matter what leg you choose. And then we're going to turn to the side here. So we are in a wide-legged stance, and we're going to work on forward folding here. This might be a great place for some blocks. So we'll hinge at the hips here. Hands come to blocks at whatever setting you'd like. And we're keeping a straight spine, okay? Making sure the feet are in line with each other. Spine is straight, hinging at the hips. We'll go ahead, half lift, straightening the spine even more. Exhale, forward folding. Stretching out those legs. Inhale, half lift again. Using the blocks for some extra support. Exhale, forward folding. going to turn to the front. I have my right leg in front. Blocks next to. I'm going to drop my left knee. Both my feet are on different lines here, and I'm going to get ready for a split variation, okay? So we're just gonna be in this low lunge, really getting into that front hip flexor here, stretching out the back hamstring. Using the blocks on whatever setting feels right to you. From here we can even send the right leg out a bit. Just getting a little deeper into this stretch. And we're going to shift our weight into a half split, okay? So sending the weight back, we're bringing the right toes up into a flex position. Now we're stretching underneath of our right leg here. We're going to rock it forward, switching the weight again. And we'll do this to our breath, shifting the weight back and forward. Back and forward. Beautiful job. One more time, back and forward. Great. We're going to send the right leg back, switch sides here to the left, okay? Hands can stay on the blocks. Left foot comes up by the hands. Now we're in our low lunge on the left side. Really working on opening up these hips here, stretching it out, preparing for a split. Breathing into any discomfort, sending that spot love, releasing it fully, knowing that this discomfort is here to challenge us. When we're challenged, it gives us an opportunity to grow. We'll shift the weight back here, flex the left foot, toes come off the mat to a half split, sending the weight into the back hip. Really stretching underneath of the left leg here. Go ahead, send the weight forward again. Find the rhythm of our body. Go at our own pace. Sending it back, exhaling. Inhale, coming forward. This a couple more times. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come to a seated position on the side. And we're going to open up the legs here to our wide-legged position, just like when we were standing up, but this time we're seated down. If your legs don't come out even to the side of your mat, that's okay. Just pull them to whatever feels good for you. Again, a challenging position, but not painful. If this is tough under your knees, you can have a micro bend to your knees or place a block or a blanket underneath of them. Another supportive motion would be to have a block or blanket underneath of your seat here, and giving you the assist underneath of there, okay? What we're going to do here is just do a forward fold to the right side. So we're shifting here, turning at the torso, chest is coming towards the right leg. You can also use your strap here as well to wrap around the foot and assist the chest in coming towards the body. We want to think here chin to shin. Okay, so we're leading with the chest. The chin is coming close as it can to the shin here. Really think of driving the left hip into the mat. So the opposing hip here is going to anchor us as we forward fold into the opposite side. Always remembering to breathe. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold a little farther. Y'all are doing great. We'll come over to the left side, same thing. So twisting at the spine, twisting at the core, using the strap around the foot if you'd like. Hinging at the hips, we're sending the chest forward, thinking chin to shin. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, we're elongating the spine. Exhale, we're folding a little farther, really anchoring this right hip down into the mat. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go forward into a pancake, or as close to it as we can, right? I like to think of from this position, externally rotating my knees to really open up these hips here. And we're hinging at the hips, again, leading with the chest. I have a block in front of me to help anchor and send my chest forward. So I'm using this block here to pull myself a bit into the stretch. Inhale, we're elongating. Exhale, we're dragging a bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, a bit deeper. Nice job. We'll come back up here, and we're going to do a bit of an activity here to help with our Mula Bandhas, okay? So Mula Bandhas, when you're lifting up the entire center of your body, okay, from the root all the way to the crown, we're lifting up with that. If we're not able to get our feet off the ground right now, that's okay. This activity will help us with that. So we are going to do some hip flexor activities. That's this muscle right here. So starting on the right side, we're just going to lift up the entire right leg and bring it back down. I have blocks right here on the side to help stabilize me here. And if this is too challenging for you, you can also lean back a bit too, placing the hands behind you to really help lift up the right leg. We'll just do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go ahead and switch to the other side. 1, 2, 3. We're going to try for both legs here. So I have my hands on my block again, lifting both up. 1, 2, 3. Nice work. That is very challenging. So don't feel bad if it did not come easy to you. Go ahead and windshield wiper these legs back and forth to get those hips a bit of a relief. Side to side, shake it out. Feels good. Awesome. From here, we are going to work on a balancing portion. If this does not come easy to you, feel free to do this lying down on your back. Same motions, but we're just using the support of the ground and balancing that way. So we're going to really be engaging the core. A strap might be helpful to you in this section as well. So if you want, go ahead and grab that. So we're going to start by standing at the back of our mat here. Be balancing on the left foot first. So I'm going to put my strap around my right leg. From here, I'm just going to pull that straight up. Left hand comes to the hip, and we're going to breathe here, 3 breaths. From here, we're going to bring the right leg out to the side here from the hip. I have a micro bend in my left knee, micro bend in my left knee and my right knee. And from here, my left arm comes out to help with that balance. Breathing. This is not a hamstring stretch, so don't focus on bringing it up really high. This is a balancing activity. So again, if we're on the ground, we're focusing on core strength so that once we stand up on one foot, we're able to engage here and center ourselves through this balancing motion. Switching sides here. Left foot comes up. Right hand to the hip. We're going to bring the left leg to the side. Right arm can come out. Your gaze can follow. Continue to breathe. Come back to center. Drop the left leg. Beautiful job. I'm going to come to a seated position here. And get ready for our forward folds. Yoga dogs are the best prop to have. A strap can come in handy here, putting it around your feet. Also blanket under your knees if you're sensitive in that area as well. So we're just going to forward fold here. Same thing as we were doing before when we were standing, hinging at the hips, sending the chest to your thighs, chin to shin. Breathing. Inhale, elongating the spine. Exhale, forward folding more. Nice job. From here, we're going to shift our weight up. Feet directly under knees, wrists directly under shoulders. We're going to come up to a reverse tabletop here. So lifting the hips, engaging the core, neck becomes neutral in line with the spine. Breathing here. We'll come back to seated. Here we're going to straighten out the left leg. It's coming directly out from our hip. Right foot comes to the left knee in a figure 4 position. Okay, and we're going to think the same thing here, hinging at the hip, chin to shin, using a strap if need be, otherwise reaching towards the foot if possible. Go ahead, rotate the right hip so that our right foot is on the mat now. It's not touching the left leg, so it is on separate lines here. And we're really going to focus on sending the chest forward if we can, bring the arms around to kind of pull ourselves through, putting my right arm pressed against my right shin. You can go ahead and hold this, getting a good stretch in that right hip. Breathing here. Come back up here. Keeping the same leg position, we're going to add a twist. So the right arm can come behind. If you would like, you can place a block back there as well. Right arm comes behind. Left arm comes across the body to bind at the right knee. And we're twisting at the core here. Shoulders follow, head and neck follow. Really push into the right arm, the left arm. Push the right knee into the left arm, making sure that our hips do not fall inward, that they're staying straight here. Beautiful job. One more breath and then we'll come back to center. Go ahead, release the right leg, shake it out a bit here, and we'll do the same thing on the left side. Right leg is coming directly out of the hip socket. Left leg is bending. Left foot comes to meet the right knee in a figure 4. Using the strap if you'd like, place it around your foot. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, forward fold here. Thinking chest to hamstring, chin to shin. If you're having any difficulties in your knee, you can place a blocker or blanket underneath of that. Breathing here. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to rotate at the hip. Place the left foot on the mat. The left leg is in its own separate line from the right leg here, so we're making sure those hips don't meet at center. Stay nice and open here. From here, we're going to send the chest forward, bring the left arm in front of the left leg, and really pull yourself as far as you can through. It's an intense stretch for the left hip. Take it easy. Breathe as always. Use that breath. Beautiful. We'll sit up straight here. Go ahead into our twist, bringing the right arm across the body, binding to the left knee. Left arm comes behind. Find the block if need be. Twisting at the core. Chest follows, neck follows, gaze follows. A good twist here. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, twist a bit farther. Lovely, my friends. From here, we're going to switch on up, kind of into that squat pose that we were in earlier today. So our hips should be nice and open at this point. So that's really not what we're going for as much as upper body strength here. Okay, we're gonna be shifting into crow. So as we come up onto our hands, we want to make sure our hands are wide, fingers gripping the mat, pointers parallel. If crow is not accessible to you yet, go ahead, place a block underneath of your seat here or two to help you get more weight into your upper body. You can stand up on your toes if it's accessible, bringing the knees into the armpits. We'll bring up 1 foot at a time. You can use your blocks behind you to kind of help with that transition. Then place the weight back down. If this is scary for you, we're shifting a lot of our weight forward. You can also place your blanket in front of your head in case you feel like you're going to spill over. That way it won't hurt as much. Again, going into crow pose, bringing the knees into the armpits, lifting 1 foot at a time, breathing here. To lower, we'll straighten out the arms, feet come to the mat, and we'll drop back into that Malasana squat pose here. Give your wrists a little stretch. Maybe place the top of your hands on the mat. We're going to meet in a tabletop position here. Standing up, our upper body, with our knees still bent on the mat, we are going to come into camel pose. It's a great spot for blocks. You can place them in between your legs. What we're focusing here is back bending. So we want to bring our left arm to the block, transfer the weight into it, and then our right arm comes back and behind as well. Bring the blocks backwards a little bit if you need it. If this feels good to you, you can adjust the setting on your blocks and lower it a bit. Otherwise, go for the ankles. See if you can stretch deeper into this camel pose, sending the hips forward. And breathing here. We'll get out of the pose the same way we did, going from one arm to the next, back to this standing on our knees position. From here, we're going to drop back into tabletop. Just give ourselves a little arch in the back, reversing that motion that we just did. We'll do that one more time. Standing up, going into camel pose. If you feel up for the challenge, adjust your block settings or reach for those ankles. Going one at a time. This time I'm going to lead with my right arm. Do whatever feels right for you. Left arm comes back, finds the blocks or the ankles. Head is looking back. Squeezing the glutes, sending the hips forward. We're going to get out of the pose the same way we came in, one arm at a time. Send it forward, hit a little cat position here. Beautiful work. Here we're going to send the feet forward. Send the hips up to meet the heels. Back is flat on the mat. We're going to place the hands, the forearms, as tight to our body. You can even roll it underneath of your body a little bit, roll from side to side. We're going to lift with the hips here, getting a supported bridge pose. So you want a straight line, basically from your throat all the way to your knees. Engaging the glutes, squeezing the buttocks, engaging the core. We'll lower here, lift the feet, grab the big toes for happy baby. You can even rock back side to side, give yourself a little back massage. And we'll do that one more time. Feet come to the mat. Rock side to side to get those forearms and hands underneath of your body so you can lift the hips. Engaging the glute, engaging the core, straight line with the body. Go ahead and lower here. Send the feet up, grab the big toes, open those hips, rock back and forth. Happy baby. Giving a nice massage. Beautiful job. We'll come up to seated here. We're going to bring our right leg, our right shin parallel to the top of our mat here. We're going to shift our weight as we bring our left leg back into pigeon. This is a challenging pose. So if you feel like your hips are too tight, feel free to place a block underneath of your hip. You can place a block underneath of your knee. What we really want to focus on here is keeping our foot flexed so that our knee stays protected. If your shin is not parallel to the top of your mat, that's okay. This is just what we're working towards here. And we really want to roll the left hip on top so that our hips are square to the top of the mat here. It might be a good place for blocks to lift yourself up here and really stretch out these hips. Okay, we're gonna hold this for a few more breaths. Then we'll switch to the other side. Same thing here. Support yourself in any way that you need. Aiming to get our shin parallel to the top of our mat. Flexing the top foot to protect our knee and really rolling our hips over so that they are square to the top of the mat. Using blocks, blanket, in any position that you feel safe with. Breathing here. Beautiful. We'll come back to a seated position. We're going to roll back, bringing our knees to our chest. Squeezing your body tight. And then releasing. One more time. Knees to chest, squeezing the body tight. And then releasing. If you have a wall accessible to you right now, go ahead, put your feet up to the wall. If not, you can just lift them up. Use a strap if you would like. With this motion here, it helps send relaxing messages to those nerves that we talked about before. Our feet carry our body. And when they get to be the top priority or in the relaxing position here, it sends great messages to the rest of our body and our nervous system. So go ahead, take this time to just rest the feet. You can use your hands to support your legs, or just allow your hands to fall to your side. And here we're going to drop into our Shavasana. Before we do so, make sure you're comfortable. Blanket under the knees, pillow under the head. You can cover yourself up with a blanket to stay warm if you'd like. Whatever feels right to you. This is your time to really soak in everything that we just did here together. Get all prepared in whatever way feels right to you. Allow your arms to fall to your sides and the natural rhythm of your breath to take over. Eyes are gently closed. And just be. For as long as you need. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe bring your knees up, feet to the mat. Take your time coming back to your body. And thank yourself for taking care of yourself, for dedicating time to better yourself. When you feel ready, use your hands to walk yourself up to a seated position. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for practicing with me. Thank you for this opportunity to connect. Have a blessed and beautiful day. Thank you.